What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black Gucci 3 long face skinny body, and we are back still black with some more fire Boruto manga related content. Now before we get into the video, you already know the dilly. Yo, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, share the video with your friends. Anytime we got some news, some revelation, a sneak peek or a drop about the big five, the top five, you know the business is very crucial, and we're gonna have to get critical when we discuss these topics. And for those of y'all who are confused, the top five, the big five are, of course, you know what I'm saying, the Queen Uchiha herself, Sarada, the GOAT Boruto, you know what I'm saying, the dazzling Eida, my nigga Daemon, and of course, the one and only star of the entire show, the entire shebang, Himawari. Anytime these five are mentioned, brought up, y'all probably have noticed within the last few years, my energy, my efforts, and my ability to defend and pronounce greatness for whenever it comes to these five is very much front and center. So now we got the official first sneak peek of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 32, and it is the dazzling Eida and the menace himself, the dynamic sibling duo, Eida and Daemon, you feel me? So we finally got some action, not necessarily quote unquote action like fist flying yet, right? But the first sneak peek that we see, thanks to the official translations, the official Naruto website, we see Eida there floating in the sky. We see another close-up shot of her, and we see their hair flowing. Honestly, great detail to just the aesthetics of both of these characters. Now, just a little bit of history lore on these two characters. If you don't know, now you do know. These characters specifically were created within the story by Ikimoto himself. Basically, in the original rollout of Boruto's story, Eida and Daemon were non-existent. They weren't originally part of the Kara organization, and all of the answers and interviews that have been conducted by Ikimoto and Kishimoto, aside from confirming themselves that Ikimoto created these two characters and Kishimoto is a big fan of them, but everything that they talk about alludes to the fact that these characters were essentially created either during or right after the Ishiki battle, right? Because we understand that's when a lot of the major changes of the story began to take place, the change in writers, the confirmation that Kishimoto isn't actually penning the writing of the story each chapter as opposed to just overseeing, and confirming that not only Ikimoto himself is the artist, but now has officially been dubbed the writer and the dialector of this Boruto story. So all of these things and all of this information regarding around these two characters, but also with that being said, in this latest interview, you know, Ikimoto basically said the reason why the designs for these two are so unorthodox, not just because yes, they aren't ninja, but he gave them such extraordinary powers. So why not show them or showcase them or portray them in such an extraordinary way that resembles, you know, the cosmos, resembles the entities, the stars, right? That's why we see all of the dynamic and glistening effects when it comes to Eida and Daemon, especially within the anime, the glossening of her eyes, the activation of her Sharingan, the stars, the shapes, the patterns of the skies and cosmos on both of their outfits. And here in this spoiler, they're floating and they're just feel that divine aura aspect so well. Daemon just there on her back, looking over her shoulder, glaring. Eida just looking straight forward as if she doesn't have a care in the world, regardless of everything we've seen in the previous recent chapters. Her like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Mamushi can't be here. I'm never using my Sharingan as long as Mamushi's alive. All of these things, and now we just see them here flexing, right? And it's even a much even closer shot up when we see on Daemon's gaze and him just apparently either just looking down the vicinity or probably eyeing down a group of Mamushi who about to make their way to the sibling duo. Now they're just floating right there, and it looks as if they're floating and anticipating an attack or a move from Mamushi, or they're floating and analyzing which way to go. But also, which can be another option, is Eida realizes, well, if we just want him to reach me as fast as possible, why not just activate my ability? We know Mamushi confirmed if Eida looked at him one time, he'd be able to confirm where she's at. So it's a point of what they're actually going to do from this panel forward. Are they anticipating, waiting for Mamushi to approach them? Are they gazing the battlefield and about to approach Mamushi? Mamushi and sizing him up, or are they waiting for Eida to activate her ability and figure out what best place or opportunity they can take in order to confront this guy Mamushi? Now this guy Daemon is just there waiting for the smoke. Eida's there, she's looking extremely divine, looking extremely like serious. Is just so much aura going on in this panel, right? But the crazy thing about this is the disposition, the words. Now I've seen a lot of people say that the dialogue from this part is probably a narrator, but it's hard to confirm if it's a narrator or not. One, because it's just one panel and one sneak peek, we don't have the full chapter yet, but also two, normally when a narrator talks, they aren't talking in speech bubbles. So this has to be another character simply just describing what they are seeing. And I believe someone like Mamushi is out the picture because the words are put together too coherently, right? We know that there's over 200 clones, possibly 300 at this point. And we've seen how he was talking in the dialogue used last chapter. He slurs his words and he uses slang. So this translation that I have here, right, for this particular panel is basically we see Eida, we see Daemon, and then it goes on to describe Daemon. He's a guardian. He is protecting Eida. That strength is beyond human. Its depth can't even be measured. He seems like a demon. Now, the gas has never been gassing like this before. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into it, because y'all know how I'll be like, all right, we got the sneak peek, we got the spoilers, y'all gotta wait for the full context to come up before we start, like, but y'all already know, man. I told y'all for a reason, not just from a fan standpoint, and because I like Daemon so much as a character, as a writer, as a creator, as just someone who understands you're presenting entertainment that it's gained a fandom, a fan base, and people love, and knowing its history, Ikimoto has a specific reason why not only Jura is getting all this gas of being the absolute strongest, but Daemon is getting all this gas of being the absolute strongest, yet each character has never seen each other face to face despite the many opportunities they've had to done so, right? We've seen many times throughout the story, Daemon can sense a power, he could sense a glimpse of a power, he can get intrigued, interested, and make his way to the battlefield if he deems necessary, and there's been many times Jura has been in the village, and people can say, well, the mandate is to don't attack Jura. Well, so all of a sudden we're gonna assume Daemon just listens to orders now, as opposed to doing whatever he feels like. You know, it's really crazy, but all of the small subtle hints are there. And for me, the most confident and for sure answer is that Ikimoto simply doesn't want to have these two characters share the panel time, share the screen time, because both of them are defined or described as the strongest in their both respective rights. But also, it's like, Daemon's not the main character, despite him having all of this aura, you know. So I don't know if that's really his main op also, but I beg to differ. I digress, right? Because like I said, my biases will always lie towards this guy Daemon. However, the narrator, the person, the character, if this is Kashin Koji, this is even crazier. This goes even further into my predictions. All those times the world was destroyed, all those times we see Eida died and stuff like that, people are like, oh, we're Daemon. Like, all this stuff is happening. Daemon's probably somewhere else in the field, somewhere else on a battlefield, right? I want it to be established how this guy Daemon can get beat. Don't get me wrong, guys. I don't think he's untouchable. Correction, I think he's untouchable, but I am inviting the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Come dethrone this guy Daemon, so then we have something to strive for throughout the rest of the story. But as of right now, all we're doing is looking down at the rest of the cast. You feel me? But we have the first official sneak peek. Eida and Daemon are officially making their move. Let me know what are your thoughts, comments, concerns, and how do y'all think this battle against Mamushi will now begin to play out? Holla at your boy, I'm gonna holla at y'all. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 32 will be fire. Black shit out, yes sir. Ski.